Have you noticed your eyes playing little tricks on you lately? One moment you're reading the morning paper just fine, the next you're blinking, squinting, and wondering why the words look blurry. Maybe the light in your living room feels too harsh, too dim, or somehow off compared to before. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're certainly not imagining it. According to research from Harvard Medical School, our eyes naturally begin to change after the age of 60. The lens becomes less flexible, the retina more sensitive to glare, and overall contrast sensitivity starts to decline. This doesn't mean life loses its beauty. It just means your vision needs a little extra care to keep up. The good news? You can take simple, natural steps, starting today, to protect your eyes and keep your vision sharp for years to come. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, explains that certain nutrients, especially antioxidants like vitamin C, lutein, and anthocyanins, have been scientifically shown to reduce the risk of cataracts and macular degeneration, Journal of the American Medical Association. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful, everyday fruits, backed by solid science, that can protect and even enhance your eyesight as you age. And if you stay until the end, I'll reveal the one fruit Dr. Porter recommends above all others. Let's get started. Let's start with one of nature's smallest treasures that packs a surprisingly powerful punch for your eyes: blueberries. At first glance, they may seem like just a tasty addition to breakfast, but inside each tiny, deep blue sphere is a potent mix of nutrients your vision quietly depends on more and more with each passing year. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, often calls blueberries nature's sunglasses because of their rich supply of anthocyanins, plant compounds that give blueberries their vibrant color. These aren't just pigments, they're antioxidants that shield your eyes from oxidative stress. According to research from Harvard Medical School, oxidative stress is a major driver of age-related eye problems like cataracts, macular degeneration, and reduced night vision. Think about what your eyes go through every day. Constant blue light from phones and computers, harsh UV rays from the sun, air pollution, and even oxidative byproducts from your own metabolism. Over time, this exposure can weaken the lens, stress the retina, and make it harder for your eyes to adjust between bright and dim light. That's when you might notice trouble reading fine print or discomfort while driving at night. Here's where blueberries shine. Studies, including one published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, have shown that anthocyanins can improve blood flow to delicate eye tissues, enhance contrast sensitivity, and even support faster adaptation to darkness. In simple terms, they help your eyes recover and focus more easily, especially in challenging light conditions. But the benefits don't stop there. Blueberries are also a good source of vitamin C, vitamin K, and manganese, all of which contribute to healthy blood vessels and connective tissue in the eye. Stronger vessels mean better oxygen and nutrient delivery to the retina, which is critical for maintaining sharp vision. The best part? They're incredibly easy to enjoy. Toss a handful into your morning oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or sprinkle them over whole-grain toast with a smear of almond butter. Even frozen blueberries retain most of their antioxidants. Just choose ones without added sugar. Dr. Porter recommends about half a cup a day as part of a balanced diet, noting that consistent intake is key. You may not notice a dramatic change overnight, but over months and years, those small daily servings add up. Less eye strain, clearer focus, and greater confidence when stepping into dimly lit spaces or driving after sunset. Small fruit, big reward. And this is just the beginning. Next, we'll move from a familiar favorite to a fruit you might walk past without a second thought: Yet it contains one of the highest natural concentrations of a nutrient your eyes absolutely need for long-term protection. Now, let's turn to a fruit you've probably seen before, but may have walked right past without realizing its hidden value: rose hip. You might know it as a common ingredient in herbal teas or skincare products, but in the world of eye health, rose hip is nothing short of a quiet powerhouse. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, calls rose hip the overlooked guardian because of its extraordinary concentration of vitamin C. Gram for gram, rose hip contains far more vitamin C than oranges. And that matters because, according to research from Harvard Medical School, vitamin C is one of the most critical antioxidants for preserving lens clarity, maintaining healthy eye tissues, and defending against oxidative stress, the slow, invisible process that leads to cataracts and age-related macular degeneration. But vitamin C is just the beginning. Rose hip is also rich in flavonoids and carotenoids, which act like your eye's internal bodyguards. Flavonoids help reduce inflammation in delicate eye tissues, while carotenoids like lutein and beta-carotene work almost like built-in sunglasses, filtering harmful blue light and protecting the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. A study published in the Journal of Ophthalmology found that diets high in these compounds were linked to slower progression of macular degeneration in older adults. If you spend hours in front of a screen or under artificial lighting, these protective nutrients become even more important. They help your eyes adapt to light changes, reduce glare sensitivity, and maintain visual sharpness over time. The best part? Rose hip is easy to incorporate into your routine. Fresh rose hips can be eaten raw. Just make sure to clean and remove the seeds. More commonly, you'll find them as a warm, tangy tea, a naturally tart jam spread over whole grain toast, or a fine powder you can blend into yogurt or smoothies. Dr. Porter recommends one small serving daily for long-term benefits. And unlike many sweet fruits, rose hip is naturally low in sugar and calories, making it a smart choice for seniors who need to manage blood sugar carefully. Think of it as gentle, steady support, working quietly in the background to keep your vision strong, your circulation healthy, and your eyes resilient year after year. Next, we'll move from this understated hero to a fruit you probably already love. But after hearing what it can do for your eyesight, you'll never look at it the same way again. From the humble rose hip, let's move to a fruit that feels like pure summer: sweet, juicy strawberries. Most of us enjoy them for their flavor, but when it comes to your vision, strawberries are far more than a seasonal treat. They're loaded with nutrients that help keep your eyes healthy, sharp, and resilient. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, points out that strawberries are among the richest natural sources of vitamin C. Just 1 cup delivers more than your daily requirement of this antioxidant. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, diets high in vitamin C are linked to a lower risk of cataract formation, thanks to its role in protecting the lens from oxidative damage. Vitamin C also supports collagen production, critical for maintaining the structure of the cornea and the small blood vessels that feed your retina. Over time, these vessels can weaken, reducing oxygen delivery to the eye and impairing vision. Consistent vitamin C intake helps keep them strong and flexible, but strawberries bring more to the table. They also contain anthocyanins, the same antioxidant family found in blueberries. These pigments are known to reduce inflammation, protect the retina from light-induced damage, and improve microcirculation in the eye. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that anthocyanins can help preserve night vision and reduce eye fatigue after prolonged screen use. The best part? Strawberries are incredibly versatile. You can add them to morning cereal, blend them into smoothies, toss them into a spinach salad, or enjoy them as a refreshing snack on their own. For a nutrient-packed combination, Dr. Porter suggests mixing fresh strawberries with plain yogurt and a sprinkle of chia seeds. This delivers antioxidants, probiotics, and omega-3 fatty acids in one simple bowl. Unlike many processed snacks, strawberries are naturally low in calories and have a moderate glycemic index, making them a smart option for those watching blood sugar levels. Plus, their fiber content supports digestion, which in turn helps your body absorb the eye-protecting nutrients you consume throughout the day. So the next time you see a bowl of strawberries, don't just think dessert. Think of them as a soft, sweet shield for your eyes, a delicious way to give your vision the protection it deserves. Up next, we'll travel to a tropical fruit that's creamy, comforting, and surprisingly powerful for your eye health: cherimoya. Now, let's step into the tropics and meet a fruit that feels like dessert, but works like a health supplement: cherimoya, also called custard apple. With its creamy texture and sweet flavor, it tastes like a blend of banana, pineapple, and vanilla. But beneath that indulgent taste lies a serious package of nutrients that your eyes, and your whole body, will thank you for. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, often describes cherimoya as a comfort food with a mission because it delivers a powerful mix of vitamins and minerals that target some of the biggest challenges aging eyes face. Like the fruits we've covered so far, cherimoya is high in vitamin C, an antioxidant proven to protect the lens from clouding and to slow the progression of cataracts. Journal of the American Medical Association. Vitamin C also supports collagen production, helping maintain the cornea's strength and the flexibility of the lens, both crucial for clear, comfortable vision. But cherimoya doesn't stop there. It's also an excellent source of potassium, which helps regulate fluid balance inside the eye, preventing the dryness and irritation many older adults experience. Alongside potassium is magnesium, a mineral that plays a key role in maintaining healthy intraocular pressure. According to research from Harvard Medical School, stable eye pressure is one of the best defenses against glaucoma, a condition that can cause irreversible vision loss. And here's a lesser-known benefit. Cherimoya's high fiber content supports healthy digestion, which may seem unrelated to eye health, but it's not. A well-functioning digestive system helps your body absorb essential nutrients like lutein, vitamin A, and omega-3 fatty acids, all of which contribute to long-term visual performance. Enjoying cherimoya is wonderfully simple. Slice it open, scoop out the flesh with a spoon, and savor it as is. You can also blend it into smoothies, mix it with yogurt, or add it to a fresh fruit salad with strawberries or kiwi for a colorful, antioxidant-rich dish. Cherimoya proves that healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. It's sweet, satisfying, and quietly doing important work to keep your vision strong, your eyes hydrated, and your risk of age-related issues lower. Next, we'll brighten things up with a fruit that looks like it came straight from a painting, vivid, exotic, and just as protective for your eyes as it is beautiful on the outside. Let's talk about dragon fruit. After the creamy comfort of cherimoya, it's time to add a splash of vibrant color to our eye health journey: dragon fruit. With its vivid pink skin, speckled flesh, and tiny black seeds, dragon fruit looks like something from a tropical dream. But beyond its beauty, this fruit carries a nutrient profile that can help protect and preserve your vision in powerful ways. Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, says dragon fruit is a hydration-packed shield for aging eyes. One of its standout nutrients is vitamin C, which you've heard us mention before for good reason. According to research from Harvard Medical School, vitamin C helps defend the lens against clouding, supports collagen production in the cornea, and neutralizes oxidative stress that contributes to cataracts and macular degeneration. But dragon fruit brings another essential player to the table: beta-carotene. This plant compound is converted by your body into vitamin A, the same nutrient that makes carrots famous for eye health. A study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that adequate vitamin A intake is critical for maintaining the retina's light-sensing function, especially for night vision. Without it, you're more likely to experience dry eyes, poor adaptation to darkness, and a higher risk of long-term vision decline. Hydration is another overlooked benefit. Dragon fruit has a high water content, which helps keep your entire body, including your eyes, properly moisturized. This is especially important for older adults who often struggle with dryness from air conditioning, heating, or prolonged screen use. Well-hydrated eyes feel more comfortable, focus more easily, and are less prone to irritation. And let's not forget about its fiber content. Good digestion supports nutrient absorption, meaning that the lutein, vitamin A, and omega-3s you eat elsewhere in your diet are more effectively delivered to your eyes. Adding dragon fruit to your routine is simple and refreshing. Slice it open and scoop it with a spoon, cube it into a fruit salad, or blend it into a smoothie with banana and almond milk. Its flavor is mild, slightly sweet, and pairs beautifully with other antioxidant-rich fruits. So, next time you spot dragon fruit at the market, don't just admire its looks. See it as a bright natural defense system for your vision. And coming up, we'll pause to hear real-life stories from people just like you who've experienced these benefits firsthand. So far, we've covered the science, vitamins, antioxidants, and the silent stressors that challenge our vision as we age. But sometimes, the most convincing proof doesn't come from lab studies or medical charts. It comes from real people just like you, who made small, consistent changes and noticed something remarkable. Take Margaret, a 74-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. For years, she'd battled eye strain while reading, often having to put her book down after just 20 minutes. At Dr. James Porter's suggestion, she began adding half a cup of blueberries to her breakfast every morning. She wasn't expecting a miracle, but within 3 months, she noticed she could read for longer without squinting or rubbing her eyes. It was subtle, she told me, but steady, like someone was slowly turning up the lights. According to research from Harvard Medical School, the anthocyanins in blueberries can improve contrast sensitivity and help the eyes adapt better to dim lighting, which matches exactly what Margaret experienced. Then there's Henry, 68, from Michigan, an avid gardener who spent hours in the sun. He started drinking rose-hip tea each evening after reading about its vitamin C and carotenoid content. After a few weeks, he realized his eyes didn't feel as dry after a long day outside. At his next eye exam, his ophthalmologist noted a slight improvement in intraocular pressure, a factor strongly linked to glaucoma risk. Journal of the American Medical Association. Henry says, "I didn't change my whole diet, just one thing, and that gave me the confidence to make more changes." And let's not forget Carmen, 70, from California, who works part-time on a computer. She began making smoothies 3 times a week with strawberries, chia seeds, and dragon fruit. "It felt like fuel for my eyes," she said. Over time, she also noticed better digestion and hydration, both of which help your body absorb and use eye-protecting nutrients more efficiently. These stories aren't one-off miracles. They're examples of how small, consistent habits build into lasting results. Dr. Porter emphasizes that the key is regularity. Your eyes don't store nutrients the way your body stores fat, he explains. They need a steady supply to repair, protect, and function at their best. So, Whether it's a handful of blueberries in the morning, a cup of rose hip tea at night, or a colorful smoothie a few times a week, the principle is the same. Small, daily steps add up. And in our final section, we'll reveal the one fruit Dr. Porter recommends above all others for people over 60, along with why it deserves the top spot on your plate. And now, we've arrived at the question many of you have been asking. If you could start with just one fruit, one natural, nourishing choice to support your vision as you age, which should it be? Dr. James Porter, a board-certified specialist in senior health, doesn't hesitate. Blueberries. Among all the fruits we've explored, they stand out for their unmatched combination of accessibility, versatility, and scientifically proven benefits. Packed with anthocyanins, blueberries act as powerful antioxidants that shield the retina from oxidative stress, improve contrast sensitivity, and help the eyes adapt more easily between bright and dim light. According to research from Harvard Medical School, these compounds also support microcirculation in the delicate capillaries of the eye, delivering oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. That's not to say the other fruits we discussed aren't valuable. They absolutely are. Rose hip, strawberries, cherimoya, and dragon fruit each bring unique strengths. But blueberries are an easy first step for almost anyone. They're widely available year-round, simple to prepare, and delicious in everything from breakfast bowls to smoothies. Dr. Porter recommends about half a cup daily for long-term benefits, whether fresh or frozen. Just choose options without added sugar. And while results may be gradual, the cumulative impact is profound. Less strain, clearer focus, and more confidence behind the wheel at night. So here's your challenge. Start small, but start today. Add blueberries to your morning oatmeal. Brew a cup of rose hip tea in the evening. Experiment with a dragon fruit smoothie. These aren't just snacks. They're small acts of self-care that protect one of your greatest gifts, your vision. If this video inspired you, please click like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who could use a gentle reminder to care for their eyes. And in the comments, let us know your age, where you're watching from, or simply type, "I commit to protecting my eyes." Let's create a community of people who see aging not as a decline, but as a chance to live with more clarity, independence, and joy. Because your vision isn't just about seeing the world, it's about experiencing it fully for as many years as possible.